Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Both houses of parliament adjourned to meet again on Wednesday. King of Bhutan Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck arrives in India on a 3-day visit. Government selects 1,40,000 pilgrims to perform Hajj this year. Centre to establish around 17,700 CNG stations across the country by 2030. Crude oil prices rise after leading members of Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries cut production. And an IPL Cricket match between Lucknow Super Giants and Chennai Super Kings underway. Both houses of parliament today continued to witness disruption for the 13th consecutive day over the Adani Group issue and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's remarks on Indian democracy. The Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha adjourned to meet again on Wednesday. In the Lok Sabha, when the House met after the first adjournment, members from the Congress, DMK and others trooped into the well, raising slogans over their demand for JPC probe into the Adani Group issue. The Treasury bench members countered them by reiterating their demand for Mr. Gandhi's apology over his comments. The presiding officer urged the protesting members to allow the House to function, but they did not pay heed, leading to adjournment of the House for the day. In the Rajya Sabha, when the House reassembled at 2 p.m. after the first adjournment, Congress and other opposition party members again created uproar. Amid din, the House passed the Competition Amendment Bill 2023 by voice vote. As the noisy scene prevailed, Chairman adjourned the House for the day. King of Bhutan Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck has arrived in India on a 3-day visit. He was received by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar at the airport in New Delhi. The King of Bhutan is accompanied by Minister of Foreign Affairs and External Trade Dr. Tandi Dorji and senior officials of the Bhutan government. The visit is in keeping with the long-standing tradition of regular high-level exchanges between the two countries. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said his visit will further strengthen the close and unique India-Bhutan partnership. During the visit, the King of Bhutan will meet with President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said there is no dearth of political will to fight against corruption in the country under the present government. Speaking at the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) in New Delhi, the Prime Minister said over the years the present government has worked hard to get our banking sector out of trouble. He said the present government is working in action mode against the hoarders of black money and the root causes of corruption. He said in the last 6 decades the CBI has earned the recognition as a multi-dimensional and multidisciplinary investigation agency.
पिछले 6 दशकों में सीबीआई ने मल्टी डायमेंशनल और मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी जांच एजेंसी के तौर पर अपनी पहचान बनाई है। आज सीबीआई का दायरा काफी बड़ा हो चुका है। बैंक फ्रॉड से लेकर वाइल्ड लाइफ से जुड़े अपराधों, यानी यहां से यहां तक, महानगर से लेकर के जंगल तक, अब सीबीआई को दौड़ना पड़ रहा है।
On the occasion, the Prime Minister conferred the President's Police Medal to 18 officers of the CBI for their distinguished service. He also gave away gold medals to 3 officers for Best Investigating Officers. The CBI was established by a resolution of the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, dated the 1st of April 1963. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi was granted extension of his bail by the Surat Sessions Court today in the 2019 defamation case over his remarks on the Modi surname. The next bail hearing will be on the 13th of this month. Meanwhile, Mr. Gandhi filed an appeal in the Sessions Court against the lower court verdict convicting him in the defamation case. The Sessions Court admitted his petition. The hearing of the case challenging his conviction will be on the 3rd of May. The court has also given notice to the applicant of the case, BJP MLA Purnesh Modi, to file his reply before April the 10th. Mr. Gandhi was convicted by a local court in Surat in the defamation case filed by Purnesh Modi over his remarks. He was given 2 years of imprisonment, following which he was disqualified from his membership of the Lok Sabha. The government has selected 140,000 pilgrims to perform Hajj this year through the random digital selection process. The Minority Affairs Ministry said out of the total selected pilgrims, over 10,000 persons are of above 70 years of age. The government has received a total of 184,000 applications. The ministry said a quota of over 175,000 pilgrims has been allotted to India this year. Nearly 35,000 quota of Hajj pilgrimage has been given to the private operators. The medical insurance has been mandatory for all pilgrims to ensure health and protect from any mishap. Our correspondent reports that this year, the largest ever contingent of over 4,000 ladies without mehram will undertake Hajj pilgrimage.
Saudi Arabia hosts around 25 lakh to 30 lakh Hajj pilgrims from across the globe each year to visit Mecca. India sends the third largest contingent of pilgrims in the world. Minority Affairs Ministry has taken several initiatives to make Hajj pilgrimage more comfortable, convenient and affordable for Indian pilgrims. For the first time, Hajj package costs have been reduced by around 50,000 rupees under the new Hajj policy. The ministry has collaborated with State Bank of India to provide cashless facility to pilgrims during Hajj. The bank will provide Forex card to all the pilgrims, which will eliminate the possibility of theft or loss of physical currency. In case this card is lost during the pilgrimage, the pilgrim can get his money refunded from the bank. With Raisuddin, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
Secretary of the Ministry of Power Alok Kumar has said that constructive and positive discussion were held on key issues related to energy transition in the ongoing Second Energy Transitions Working Group ETWG meeting under India's G20 presidency at Gandhinagar in Gujarat. The three-day meeting began yesterday. Addressing media on the second day of the meeting, Mr. Kumar said the meeting remained successful and the proposals put forward by India received the support of G20 countries. He said India has set a target to achieve 50% cumulative electric power installed capacity from non-fossil fuel-based energy resources by 2030 and reducing emissions intensity of its GDP by 45% by 2030 from 2005 levels. Around 100 delegates representing G20 member countries, special invitee countries and international organizations are participating in the three-day meeting. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. All India Radio is presenting vignettes of select quotes of the Prime Minister from Mann Ki Baat as the program completes its 100th episode in April this year.
People, voice and direct dialogue. That's your and our Mann Ki Baat. Yes, this is how our Prime Minister connects with millions of countrymen. With the program Mann Ki Baat, aired on the last Sunday of every month on All India Radio. This series, which started on October 3rd, 2014, will complete its 100th episode in April 2023. In the 40th episode of this special program, let's listen to those excerpts of the Prime Minister in which he spoke about providing affordable medicines to the people through the Jan Aushadhi Yojana. The Prime Minister has invariably tried to strike a chord in the hearts of the masses in the Mann Ki Baat program. He has also tried to apprise the people of those schemes of the government which can bring about a change in the lives of the poor. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Yojana is one such, about which he spoke in the Mann Ki Baat program broadcast on 28th January 2018.
जन औषधि केंद्रों पर मिलने वाली दवाएं बाजार में बिकने वाली ब्रांडेड दवाइयों से लगभग 50% से 90% तक सस्ती है। इससे जन सामान्य, विशेषकर प्रतिदिन दवाएं लेने वाले वरिष्ठ नागरिकों की बहुत आर्थिक मदद होती है, बहुत बचत होती है। इसमें खरीदी जाने वाली जेनेरिक दवाएं वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के तय स्टैंडर्ड के हिसाब से होती हैं। यही कारण है कि अच्छी क्वालिटी की दवाएं सस्ते दाम पर मिल जाती हैं।
Moving on, the centre today said the target has been fixed to establish around 17,700 CNG stations across the country by 2030. In a written reply in the Rajya Sabha, Minister of State for Petroleum and Natural Gas Rameshwar Teli said 5,118 CNG stations have been established in the country till the 31st of January this year. He said the establishment of CNG stations is part of development of city gas distribution networks, and the same is being carried out by the entities authorized by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said that new ceiling prices of 651 out of 870 essential medicines have been notified so far. He said due to this, the approved ceiling price of medicines has decreased by an average of over 16%. Dr. Mandavia said with this move, the consumers will save an estimated 3,500 crore rupees annually. The minister rebutted Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge's claim over a reported hike in prices of some essential medicines. Replying to Mr. Kharge's claim through a series of tweets, Dr. Mandavia said according to the provisions of the Drugs Prices Control Order 2013 made by the UPA government, every year the pharma companies increase or decrease the prices of medicines according to the wholesale price index. In Jammu and Kashmir, police today recovered a cache of arms and explosive material from a package suspected to have been airdropped by a drone from across the international border in Samba district of Jammu division. Our Jammu correspondent reports that the package was found early today near the railway line in Rakwarotia area in the Vijaypur belt of Samba district, containing 3 China-made pistols and grenades. Malaysia's parliament has voted to remove the country's mandatory death penalty, potentially sparing more than 1,300 prisoners on death row. The country has had a moratorium on execution since 2018, but the abolition now removes the death penalty as a mandatory sentence for 11 serious crimes, including murder and terrorism. Judges have retained discretion to impose capital punishment in exceptional cases. Global crude prices today rose sharply after OPEC Plus, the grouping of the world's largest oil-producing countries, said they will cut production, a surprise move that stands to boost gasoline bills and inflation in the Western countries. The group announced that they were cutting output by more than 1 million barrels of oil a day from May until the end of the year. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, comprising Saudi Arabia, Iraq and several Gulf states and their allies, including Russia, are together known as OPEC+. Talking exclusively to AIR News, energy expert Narendra Taneja said the group's decision to further cut oil supplies adds to the global challenge for the countries, which are already tackling high inflation.
OPEC countries have decided to cut the production aimed at pushing the prices up, and because they think that the prices have been dipping below the level that they were comfortable with, that's the decision. And of course, when oil prices go up, it's a bad news for economies struggling with recession, and at the same time, large importing countries, which are for countries for whom crude oil is essential, very, very important. So overall, the news is not good for large energy consumers like India and China.
In intraday trade, Brent crude was trading at around $84.48 per barrel, while West Texas Intermediate crude prices was at $80 per barrel when reports last came in. Culture Minister G. Kishan Reddy today hosted the 20th session of Culture Ministers meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization member states through video conferencing. The culture ministers of Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan participated in the meeting. In IPL Cricket, Chennai Super Kings were 194 for 5 in 18 overs against Lucknow Super Giants at M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, Chennai, when reports last came in. Opener Rituraj Gaikwad hit a blistering knock of 57 runs off 31 balls, while Devon Conway made 47. Now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Both houses of parliament adjourned to meet again on Wednesday. King of Bhutan Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck arrives in India on a 3-day visit. Government selects 140,000 pilgrims to perform Hajj this year. Centre to establish around 17,700 CNG stations across the country by 2030. Crude oil prices rise after leading members of OPEC cut production, and in IPL Cricket, match between Lucknow Super Giants and Chennai Super Kings underway. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.